Hey Cavernites, this is Jono, and today I'm going to be playing Splatoon. This is going to be kind of just like a first impressions gameplay video. I've played quite a bit of it. I'm not going to be doing a full review just yet. I just wanted to kind of just have me playing while talking about the game a bit, my current thoughts on it. Anyway, right now I'm in Inkopolis, which is pretty much like the central hub of the game. And it allows you to access the game's shops for buying new gear, which includes clothing, a few different types of clothing, as well as there's a weapon shop as well. And there's also, you can access the single player portion of the game through this little sewer here, which is, the single player portion involves going through a bunch of levels where you're taking on the Octarians. The Octarians are these octopus bad guys, kind of like the rivals of the Inklings, which are based off of squids. And then through this door here, that allows you to access the game's multiplayer, which is pretty much the meat of the game. That's what they expect most people to be doing, and that's what I've spent most of my time playing. I have beat the single player too, however. I just actually beat that before recording this video. But anyway, I've always loved hub worlds in games, and I'm really glad they brought one back to this. Because some other previous Nintendo games, like in Super Mario Galaxy 2, they kind of had it, but they like really took away a lot. Like the original Super Mario Galaxy had a great hub world, and previous 3D Mario games did as well. And then after that, they kind of abandoned it. And they're kind of bringing it back in some sense. And you'll see that even a bit more within the single-player portion of the game as well. And anyway, for those who don't like hub worlds, they actually do have on the gamepad, there's buttons for every single location in Inkopolis, and you can just teleport to there with that. That's no fun. So how about we hop into the single player first? I've already completed the single player in its entirety, so there might be minor spoilers going in, so you may want to skip this part. I'm not going to go to any levels deep in. I'm just going to go to the first level and kind of show it off. So we're going to head in here. But like I was saying about hubs, the single player actually has a hub as well. Like this right here is a level. These little tea kettles, you hop in them to go into levels. And normally they're invisible, and there won't be a, like, see as there's those pictures above them, that's just because I discovered them. They're all hidden. So you have to kind of explore around the hub and find all of them. This first little spot is really tiny, but like here, I'll show you. If I go over here onto this ink rail, I can go to the next world, which there's 5 different worlds within the hub. I'll just call them worlds. They're just large platforms, though, and they basically have just a small amount of platforming that you'll have to make use of your ink gun to get around and find other levels. Anyway, let's head back to our first island. I think is this where I want to go? You can actually use the touchscreen to teleport to different areas, which is pretty neat. So how about we hop over here. We don't want to go to level 3, we're going to go to level 1. So let's hop on in here, we can show off the single player. Actually, before we go in, there's also another feature of the single player is you're able to upgrade your gear, which actually I still, even though I've beat it, I still have quite a few upgrades left to do, but there's not really any reason as far as I know. I mean, unless you still need to get all the sunken scrolls, which I do. I've actually missed a handful of them, so I'm going to eventually get back and grab all those. Yeah, what the sunken scrolls are is they essentially they open up on a bit of more of the lore of the game, which there's surprisingly a decent amount of lore and story within it you wouldn't really expect. Anyway, let's head on into the first level here. It's going to be a really easy one. The single player for the most part is relatively easy, but the difficulty does definitely ramp up some as you go along. And they introduce this different interesting puzzles and different gameplay concepts that you won't find in other levels too, and stuff that's not even in the multiplayer as well. So anyway, as you can see there, I'm killing these Octarians, and you don't have to get rid of all the enemy ink, but it's fun sometimes. But you kind of want to just look around, look for secrets in the level, because as I mentioned before, there's the hidden scroll, which I already have the one at this level, but it's always a good idea to just look around. There may be some of these orbs, these little orb things. That's what you use to upgrade your weapon and stuff. Alright, so this tricky fellow, I have to throw a bomb to distract him and then blast him. And here's these little jump launch pads, which are kind of reminiscent of the stars from Super Mario Galaxy that you would launch out of. Take out these Bacterians. Now I could hop in there, but as I was saying, it's always good to kind of look around, see if there's any orbs, stuff you can snag. I guess I should have went over some of the basics. For those who don't know, you do not have unlimited ink. Well, I guess technically you do, but eventually, as if you say, I'm going to fire here until I run out. I should be running out sometime soon. For some reason I'm not running out. There we go, now I am. And then to refill, you go in squid mode and just swim around in your own ink. Now I'm all filled up again. Squid mode allows you to get around a lot faster, and you can also climb up walls if you have your own ink on them. Jumping is possible in both human and squid form. Alright, let's hop on this. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with some of the unique different puzzles and such throughout the single player. I kind of wish there was more though. I mean, there's about 5 to 6 hours of gameplay within the single player, which is a decent amount, and not many were expected to get much out of the single player in addition to the multiplayer. Like, I was personally kind of thinking, like, before I looked into it more, I just thought it would be kind of tacked on, but surprisingly, it's kind of like a mini 3D Mario game of sorts, with a more unique gameplay, because obviously Mario doesn't use a gun that shoots ink out. Now let's hop up here. Yeah, definitely, I love the look of the game. It's very colorful, as you can probably imagine. And the frame rate, probably my favorite thing. One of my favorite things is that the frame rate is very smooth. Nice 60 frames per second. The only place it's not 60 frames per second is in the Inkopolis hub, which I think is because there's so many all the different Inkling characters that come from other people's games over the internet. There's just a lot going on there, kind of. I don't think the Wii U could handle keeping it at a smooth 60 frames per second, which is understandable. As long as my actual gameplay is smooth, I'm happy. I'm just going to play through this first level just to kind of show you an example of what a single player level is like. Although if this looks really simple and easy and kind of boring to you, don't let that be a judge for the rest of the levels in the game. There's honestly some really cool ones later on, but I don't really want to spoil them. I just wanted to open up with the most basic level of the game, pretty much. Alright, so I got a key, which means I need to go open something with it, which is back here. Give this a new launch pad. This might be the final checkpoint. Yep. So when you get to the final checkpoint, the music speeds up, and I think the action kind of speeds up too. Like, enemies will start moving faster. I can't confirm that. I'm just kind of guessing. Like, we need to distract. We're almost to the end here. We just need to get one more key. And I won't be showing it in this video, but there's boss fights as well. There's, I believe, 5 total boss fights, and they're all very unique. They feel like very cleverly designed boss fights, like you'd see in a 3D Mario game, I guess you could say. And I won't spoil it, but the last boss fight was very cool. It's probably could be one of my favorite final boss fights in any game I've ever played. Not number 1, but it's definitely up there. and it was certainly more challenging than the first four. The first four they're kind of pushovers, to be honest, even though they were pretty cool, but that final boss fight did have a bit of more challenge to it. And length. Let's see. Alright, so we're done here, so I'm gonna touch Inkopolis button on my gamepad, which will warp us right back to Inkopolis. I think we're gonna do some multiplayer. I'm actually wearing a fresh set of gear as well, so I won't have as many perks as I normally do. But I think we should still be okay. Which weapon do I have equipped right now? I'm gonna check which weapons I got. Oh, this is good. We're gonna be using the Arrow Spray MG, which is a close-range, rapid-fire weapon. It's good for getting ink spread around. You can actually turn into the squid on the hub, which is kind of funny. There's no reason to, really, just for fun. If you want to swim around. Alright, so this is where the multiplayer takes place. And at any given time, there's 2 stages. As you can see on the side right now, Walleye Warehouse and Arowana Mall is available. And one of the unfortunate things about the game is, as many of you may know, is the content is kind of limited at launch. There's only 5 maps, and they kind of try and disguise that lack of content through this stage shuffling system, so it kind of gives you a reason to keep coming back, because you'll want to try out that other map that's not available right now. So like right now, the only options are join friends, regular battle, or regular battle. Join friends obviously will allow you to, you can check your friend list. I won't go in there, but if a friend has a game going, even if it's full, you can join a queue for it, and it'll wait till the match is over, and it'll let you join in if someone leaves, which is nice. You cannot spectate though. It's not like Mario Kart 8 where you could actually watch the game and then get in eventually. Anyway, also one thing I should note in the stages you can see on the side, there's a space below that. So I'm thinking once they add more stages with free DLC, because there is free DLC stages, weapons, and gear and everything that's supposed to be coming in the future. It looks like there'll be a 3rd stage slot once they get more stages in the game. Alright, so we're going to queue up for a regular battle. Hopefully this goes quickly. If it ends up being long, you can play Squid Jump on the gamepad. It's a really basic game. It's kind of fun while you're waiting though. So we just need one more person. Hopefully this is a flawless game. For the most part, I've had a really good experience with the online. It's been mostly lag-free and mostly smooth. I've had a few hiccups here and there though, so we'll see how it goes. I think a lot of it's just a lot of the launch hype going on, tons of people playing, so it's having some hiccups here and there, trying to deal with it. So yeah, one thing I like to do at the beginning, I like to make sure we get this little area around here covered. Some people forget that sometimes. So it's a small spot, but you never know. It could be that one little percent that lets you win. That percentage of a percent. Yeah, other than that, I just like to kind of move around and spread my ink everywhere. Ugh. You don't have to be too precise, just cover as much as you can. It's always good to get these areas up here too. There's a lot of these really vertical maps. Some people don't get these locations. Alright, so I'm ready to go with my super, so... Oh, I gotta get out of here. No! That was bad. Water is bad, even though you are a squid person. One feature, I don't really need to, but I'm just going to show it off. You can, at any time, you can press on the gamepad and teleport to one of your friends. This is not the best area to teleport to. Alright, so the middle of the map is usually the best place to try and maintain control of. There's a lot of space to cover, and I've noticed it usually decides who's going to win if you're able to dominate the center. Oh god, I need to get out of here. Uh-oh, don't want to be there. Yeah, they're getting a lot of paint on us here. Or ink, sorry. I just used my special weapon there. My special weapon is the Ink Bazooka. As you cover ink, oh, it's got killed. As you cover ink, that meter will fill up in the top right. When it fills all the way up, you can use your special weapon, which there's a handful of them. The ink Zuka is not my favorite one, but this is a pretty good weapon for spreading ink around, so I like going with it. Because you cannot completely customize your loadout. Each weapon has a specific loadout that goes with it. Yeah, we're not doing so hot here. Oh god, that's a Kraken. Kraken, that's another special, which you turn into a big Kraken squid that cannot be killed. And it can do a lot of damage, one shot you pretty much. Oh! At least I killed him. Okay, we have one of my friends is getting into the enemy base, so I'm gonna actually teleport over to him. Do some damage in there. That's what we need to do right now. We need to get some ink going in here. We only got 10 seconds. Actually, we might be able to pull this off. Maybe. Let's see. We have a lot of ink. I'm pretty sure we got this one. So at the end of the match, this cat named Judd will decide who wins. And yeah, we definitely dominated there. That has a lot to do with having a lot of the ink in the center. Alright, so I got 961 points, which will contribute to my player level as well as my gear experience down there. How about we head into another battle? I'll show you at least one more. Play some Squid Jump while I'm waiting. Wish I could show you Squid Jump, but it's not really possible right now. I don't have my capture card set to record the gamepad as well. There's actually a few other mini games too, but you need the amiibos, unfortunately. There's 3 different amiibos for this game. And there's a bundle pack with all 3 of them for $35, and those actually unlock quite a bit of content too. So if you're a hardcore amiibo fan and you love buying them and you don't care, then I guess that's good news, because it means you get a lot of extra Splatoon content. But at the same time, for those of us that just want to play the game and don't care about amiibos, then we're kind of stuck without those mini games, as well as, oh gosh, I got a mine heading my way. Oh, and an airstrike, or ink strike. But yeah, the amiibos, they also unlock a bunch of single-player challenge stages, which unlock some like clothing and stuff for your Inkling characters. So you end up missing out on quite a bit. My friend just used his special ability, which shows enemy locations. You can see these lines telling you where the enemies are, which I didn't take advantage of. Unfortunately, I just got myself killed. I'm probably going to be doing terrible in these games that I record. I could be pretty good sometimes, but not right now, apparently. Okay, we managed to survive there, thankfully. Be careful, you never know when a roller could come up behind you. Oh, I did not see him. He was hiding in the ink. Yeah, I had a full special there. When you die, you lose about like half the meter. Unless you have one of those special clothing items that'll, with the perk that makes it so it takes away less when you die. Yeah, roller can be really nasty if they manage to get in your base, because they just run around with it and just start getting their ink everywhere. Alright, we need to retake control of the center here. We need to take you out. Get out of here. There's someone there. Ideally, you want to get them all killed this around the same time so they can jump back to each other, so that way you can push them back into their base. Ah. If you can keep them back in their base, that means you can dominate the center, which is very important. Alright, I need to get back there. This is risky me jumping in like this, but we need to take back this center as much as we can for these last 3 seconds. Yeah, I think we got it. We have a lot in the center, so we should be good. Yep. The ruler is another fun weapon to use, simply because of the easy ink coverage, but it's a very close range weapon. Oh, we unlocked some new abilities. This is what I was talking about. Let's see what I got. I got some damage up, squid speed up. Didn't see what the other one was. Anyway, we're gonna say no there. One other feature I should point out on the side below my gold count, my coins, that little rating that says Toasty, every time you win a game you get more flags and your rating will keep going up more and more, and if you lose a game that'll go down. But depending on how high that is, the word next to it will change. Like right now it says Toasty. And you can go talk to the cat here, Judd is his name I believe. Get Judd's advice and he'll give you some money, since my vibe today is Toasty. And I think that resets every time the maps of the stages change, so you have multiple opportunities to get some extra gold. Yeah, before we go, one other cool thing about the hub is all these different inklings that come from other players. I think I mentioned that, but you can see their Miiverse posts and you can check them out, so there's some interesting ones. Sometimes even some inappropriate ones. I've noticed there's not perfect moderation with Nintendo's online systems here. But another cool thing is all these different Miiverse drawings, they actually show up as graffiti in the hub as well. And if you can actually zoom in on them and it'll show you the Miiverse post, and if I want to say, yeah, I like that one, we can say that. Give that guy a yeah. One other little Easter egg, I don't know if it's really an Easter egg, but whenever you come over here there's, actually I don't know if I can hear it right now, but there's sometimes a little tune playing I thought was kind of interesting. I'm wondering if it's some kind of Easter egg that I don't understand. Oh yeah, I hear one right now, this weird like spacey high-pitched noise. That's playing somewhere over here, because it gets quieter as you walk away, so I don't really know what that's all about. Anyway, so far I am really enjoying Splatoon. I definitely think that, I mean, if you're on the edge about buying it, I think it will definitely turn into something that's worth buying. I think the single player is a lot of fun, it might be short, and the multiplayer is a lot of fun, and while unfortunately only having just 5 maps, that is pretty disappointing for a launch count, but from what I'm hearing it sounds like there will be quite a bit of content coming that is completely free over the summer, and I believe the release rate is somewhere, maybe, I've heard it's once every 2 weeks maybe, but I don't really know. I don't think it's an official schedule, so anyway, I definitely think this game will be worth it in the long run. So anyway, thanks for watching Cabernites, and I'll see you next time.